Hello, everybody. My name is Todd, and welcome to the CINCILINGUA membership program. It's great to have you with me here today. Thank you for participating in our lesson video here. And for those of you who may not know, CINCILINGUA, we are a language institute, and we are located in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we have been a language institute located in Cincinnati, Ohio for 51 years now. Okay, so we have been a part of this Cincinnati, Ohio for quite a while. And for those of you who may not know, Cincinnati, Ohio is part of the Midwestern region of the United States of America. So so that's just by way of introduction. Again, it's great to have you with me for this lesson video. And this lesson video is going to be a continuation of our series that we started. This is lesson 2 of that series that we are entitling At the Grocery Store. At the grocery store, which means that we will be looking at vocabulary that is used when visiting or going to the grocery store or the supermarket. Okay, so here we go. As we begin today, we have cash register. Cash register. A cash register is a machine that figures out how much a customer has to pay for something. Again, a cash register is a machine that figures out or calculates how much a customer has to pay for something. Okay, so it's a machine. And we have an example here. Please pay for your food at the cash register. The machine will add up the cost of all of your items and figure out your total. Okay, so the cash register is the machine that adds up and calculates the cost. Okay, so please pay for your food at the cash register. The machine will add up the cost of all of your items and figure out your total. Okay, so figure out here is it's an idiom, but it means to calculate. Okay, all right. So now we will move on to cashier. Cashier. Cashier is a person. A cashier is someone who works at a store and rings up, ding, 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 the purchases. Okay, someone who works at a store and rings up purchases. Okay. Now, most cashiers use a cash register for keeping money and making change. Okay, most cashiers use a cash register for keeping money and making change. Okay, so if somebody gives the cashier $100 bill and the total of the purchase was $80, the cashier, he or she, will take out of that cash register $20 and give that person the proper change. Okay, the cashier will make change is what that means. Okay, example. I will be working as a cashier at the grocery store today. I will be ringing up the shopper's food and making sure they receive the correct money back. I will be working as a cashier at the grocery store today. I will be ringing up the shopper's food and making sure they receive the correct money back. Okay, and that money back is the change. Okay, and so I will be ringing up the shopper's food and making sure they receive the correct change. Okay, just to be clear there. All right, now we will look at this verb to ring up that we just referred to clarify this. This is what we call a phrasal verb, and phrasal verb is basically it's a verb that is followed by a preposition. Sometimes it's followed by two prepositions, usually one. And we have a lot of phrasal verbs in English, but this is a good example of a phrasal verb. And to ring up means to use a cash register to calculate the cost of a customer's items. Okay, again, to ring up is to use a cash register to calculate the cost of a customer's items. Okay, and just by the way, the verb in this phrasal verb is ring. That is an irregular verb. The simple past form is rang, and then the past participle form is rung. Okay, so it's ring, rang, rung, ring, rang, rung. Okay, example. The cashier is ringing up the customer's items. She is using a cash register to add up the cost of food and household items for each person. The cashier is ringing up the customer's items. She is using a cash register to add up the cost of food and household items for each person. Okay. All right. Now we have the express lane. The express lane is a place in a store where people who have few items can pay for them more quickly. Okay, again, the express lane is a place in a store where people who have few items can pay for them more quickly. Okay, so if somebody just has one or two items and they don't want to wait in a long line, they can go to the express lane and the cashier rings those people up more quickly because they have fewer items. Okay, example. Customers who have 10 items or fewer can check out at the express lane. They should be able to get through the line faster than those with more than 10 items. Customers who have 10 items or fewer can check out at the express lane. They should be able to get through the line faster than those with more than 10 items. Okay. Now we also have a self-checkout. A self-checkout. This is it's a machine where it's a machine and it's a play, and it also refers to the place where the machine is. Okay, so it's a machine, it's a place, it's also the place where the machine is located. So it's a machine where customers scan, pack, and pay for their items in a store without being served by a store employee. Okay, again, self-checkout is a machine where customers scan, pack, and pay for their items in a store without being served by a store employee. Okay, and again, just to be clear, the self-checkout is the place and the machine where that place is. Okay, so example, I love the self-checkout. I scan, bag, and pay for my own items. I am usually able to leave the store much faster than if I had a cashier ring up my purchase. I love the self-checkout. I scan, bag, and pay for my own items. Okay, and just to be clear here, the word bag in this example is the same as pack. Okay, so it refers to putting your items into the bag. That's the idea. So bag here means to pack. You put your items into the bag. So I scan, bag, and pay for my own items. I'm usually able to leave the store much faster than if I had a cashier ring up my purchase. Okay, self-checkout. All right, so in this lesson video, we have looked at 5 vocabulary words or phrases referring to or relating to the grocery store. And we started with cash register. Cash register refers to this machine that calculates the total amount or the total cost of the groceries or the household items that you purchase at a grocery store. Okay, so after you have selected your purchase, you go to the cash register, and the cashier, which is our next word that we looked at, will ring up the total cost and give you the proper change that is owed back to you. So that's the cash register. And then, as I just mentioned, the cashier is the person who works at the cash register and performs the duties of receiving and your items that you are purchasing and totaling up the total cost, figuring out the total cost, calculating the total cost, and giving back the proper change. And then to ring up, I mentioned, is a phrasal verb. This refers to the action of at the cash register, the cashier rings up. So totals, punches in on the cash register the cost of each item, and that's ringing up. And then again, he or she will give you the proper change that is owed back to you. We looked at express lane. The express lane is the place where customers can go, the customers who have made, for example, 10 items, who want to purchase 10 items or fewer. They can go to the express lane and be served faster. Okay, if you have fewer items, you can get through that line faster in theory, if there are no complications, of course. And then finally, we looked at the self-checkout. And I mentioned that the self-checkout refers to both the machine and the area where the machine is. And self-checkout is a place or the machine where people go who don't want to be served by a cashier, because they can do everything themselves. They can find out the cost of the item. They scan it. They can scan it, they can bag it themselves or pack it themselves, place it into the bag, and then they can pay for it all there. They can do everything themselves without a cashier and then leave, and it's usually faster for them. So, all right, with that, we will wrap up our lesson video. Before leaving you here, I want to wish you a wonderful remainder of your day. I want to thank you again for joining me in this lesson video. And yeah, so I will look forward to working with you next time as we continue with our current series. And again, my name is Todd, and I'm going to sign off now from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I will be looking forward to catching you next time. Bye-bye.